And how many of us have been in these situations where our gut is telling us something is not right? The relationship or something is going on is not right.
Transparency. What's your story, Mr. John? This podcast takes you the trials and triumphs of those of everyday life. I am your host, Mr. John. I'm a motivational speaker. I am a songwriter, singer, and I'm happy you chose to stop by.
Hey, how you doing today? You could have been anywhere in the world today, but you chose to stop on by. So stay tuned, and we're going to get right into it.
If you've not picked up my book, Transparency, 12 Weeks to the New You, it is on Amazon. As well as, if you like interesting stories and articles about health, mental health, physical health, personal training, needing some extra oomph to get you through the day, stop by the AliveExperienceOnline.com. It is a link in my bio. I have over 500 articles about health and fitness, about what you can do. More importantly, if you've not seen the podcast, make your way over there and check out Transparency, What's Your Story? Also, I know some of you all know we do have a telephone number. That's right. If you want to call in and tell me your story, I would really love to hear it. That number is 818-660-5374. Again, 818-660-5374. Thank you guys for your time, and as always, be well. That's right. Every week we're going to have a positive clip here. This is a positive show that has positive meaning. But check out this clip.
On the arrest of a woman suspected of kidnapping twin babies in Columbus last week. Both children were eventually found safe. News 5's Nadine Abusada has details on how one woman helped police track down the suspected kidnapper.
It's really unbelievable.
Cheyenne Delmar is still in shock after what ensued from her simply buying toys from another woman.
After initially meeting her, I did not realize that until later on that evening.
On Thursday, December 22nd, Delmar bought toys from a woman named May and gave her a ride to the dollar store. But when she left, she felt like something wasn't right.
My conversation that I had with her in the car when I gave her that ride, it was so many red flags that I ignored.
She did some research and checked the news when she noticed similarities between the woman she met and at-large suspect Nala Jackson.
That's her. That's the person.
Without hesitation, she and her cousin Mecca Curry came up with a plan to try and catch the kidnapper.
By this time, I know that this is the kidnapper, and if she came from Ohio to Indianapolis, then she could possibly be gone.
What they did was contact May back to buy more toys. May sent them an address. Once they arrived, May got in the car. And in that moment, they knew it was the kidnapper, Nala Jackson. But once police arrived, things became a little bit tricky.
And he made me stay from out the car while he went back and questioned her. He came back about 5 minutes later and he tells me that's not her. I lost my mind. I didn't know what to think at that point.
Delmar and Mecca then pulled up photos and begged the officers to take a second look.
She walked back over to the car and looked at the woman again, and just like that, they were pulling her out.
But the baby, Kasan Thomas, was still not found. When officers arrested Jackson, her things were left in Delmar's car. But for Delmar, they were clues.
So I found that bus schedule in my back seat, and we used that map to try and figure out where the car could be at.
During the search, they stopped to get food, which was near a Papa John's Jackson talked about, and right then, the missing car was spotted.
She said the baby was in there, and she said she smelled like a foul smell, from him sitting so many days.
And inside was Kasan Thomas. She also called Kasan's mom and delivered the news, and now she's honestly still in shock.
It was a huge relief. I didn't think that I would be a part of anything like this ever in my life.
Delmar and Mecca met the mother and hope soon to meet Kasan too.
She wants us to meet her son just as bad as we want to meet him. So the feeling is mutual.
Reporting for News 5, Nadine Abusada.
Wow, thank God for those two ladies. Okay, turning.
The young lady in that clip saved lives. And what was interesting enough that recently CNN did not want to report it about the efforts of these two young ladies saving the lives of these children. They tried to flip the story by saying that the police, and I do that in air quotes, saved the lives of these children. But if it had not been for the detective work of these two young ladies, these children may have never been found. So salute to these two young ladies that had the intuition or a gut instinct to pay attention that something was not right. And how many of us have been in these situations where our gut is telling us something is not right? The relationship or something is going on is not right. The feeling of your job that they're not telling you something and you know something is not right. Those are our gut instincts. They call it gut instincts. Some people call it intuition. I like to call it the knowing of the unknown. You have enough instinct to be in touch with your spiritual self to know something is not right. And instead of these ladies eventually keep pushing it off, they took action. And what happened? They actually helped save a life. They followed through on the intuition and were victorious in helping them. I hope to one day, very, very soon, have those two young ladies on my podcast, Transparency. If you can get me their information, I'd love to talk to them, because this story here is one that all of us should hear more about. But again, it's the intuition that these two had. How many times have we all had that intuition of something's not right and we can do something to change the situation? Let me know in the comments. Let me know.
Some of you sitting here, God's already spoken to you about your future, about your kids, about your health, about a situation. And you're in this dark place and you're saying, God, I need more. Can you give me a sign? You may not get more. Listen, what God told you in the sunshine is now not suddenly untrue because the storm clouds rolled in. What God told you in a season of light is not suddenly untrue because you're in a season of darkness. No, what God said is true. And I know there are some here, listen, I know this by the Spirit of God. You've already had an encounter with Him. Maybe it was when you had the Word open on your knees and suddenly something came alive to you and you knew that God was speaking to you. Listen, if He said it was going to be okay, it's going to be okay. It doesn't matter what things look like right now. You don't need more than God has already given you.
I remember back in the day, there was a phrase that said, what to do when God is silent. Why God is silent. It was a pastor, and the song was what to do when God is silent. It was just giving you more time to pray. And what I've found for the longest is even with prayer comes a corresponding action. Because faith without works is dead. And even if you prayed on it, wouldn't be moving in that direction to work toward it. Prayer changes things. He also gives us the tools to move forward in the direction to make the change. So as you are planted the seed, you're watering that seed. Doesn't mean it happens overnight. Doesn't mean it happens in a day. One thing we know that works: consistency and action. Consistency in that action. Just make sure you're not going around in circles. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Every week I'm actually trying to get better, to present you guys something that's from the heart, more importantly that you can relate to. Now Gary Vee says it best, so I'm going to quote him. Sharing these thoughts is like oxygen to me. So if they resonate with you, if you feel that this can benefit somebody, subscribe, share, more importantly, like all my platforms, Instagram, Facebook, theliveexperienceonline.com. And I look forward to speaking and sharing with you guys real soon. Be well.
again.